All right, working class beer reviews. I'm down here in the basement because it snowed yesterday and I didn't really want to do it outside. It's still a little cool. If you look at my window, it's got some gaps. I installed tried to replace the frame, but I got to fill in the gaps, stuff like that. So it's leaking a lot of cold air right on my back. It's not fun. But today we are looking at garage beer. Now, garage beer, before, you know how sometimes I get carried away. Today I've got a Valentine beer and ale church key. I don't know if you can see that or not. I believe they're based out of New York, like Brooklyn or something like that. So owned by Pabst. It's not something I have ever gotten a hold of. Although I got some friends visiting New York, I told them to keep an eye out for some Schaefer for me. So got this kind of just a chalice type goblet lager thing. Give it a nice aggressive pour. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. So while that's setting up, produced for Jock Beer LLC DBA, Garage Beer by Garage Beer, Irwindale, California. Sorry, the furnace is kicking on. Hopefully it doesn't really disrupt the video. For a 12-ounce serving, 95 calories, 3 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein. So very similar to like a Michelob Ultra, a lot of those like low-carb beers. Michelob Ultra might be like 2.3 or something like that. So 3 grams, that's not bad. 95 calories, it's like a light beer. I want to say like Miller Lite and stuff like that is 95 calories. They do have a website, but first I saw this article in the Washington Beer Blog. Someone asked, it says, for whatever reason, sometime last year, Garage Beer became its own company owned by the same guys who own Braxton Brewing. So, Irwindale, California. Yeah, that's something like that. Those guys are minority partners, and Garage Beer is largely owned by the Kelce brothers, which would be Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs and Jason Kelce of the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, something like that. And who bring their celebrity, their money, and their somewhat notorious love of beer to the company. By now, I'll assume everyone is familiar with the Kelce brothers, NFL All-Stars, media darlings, diva daters, and all that. So I thought that was kind of a neat article. Let me go back to the actual Garage Beer website, because it doesn't really. Yeah, it's got Jason Kelce on the website. I mean, it just says they are small batch brewed light beer, 4% ABV, 95 calories, 3 grams carbs. And they've got a lime one apparently as well. That's the same exact stats. They've got a beer locator. It says no bitterness, beer that tastes like beer. Definitely not an IPA. So they're kind of going for that, like, very just everyday, normal guy, working class type, setting. So I can pour this whole can in there. What do we got? So you can still see that label. Just very clear. I mean, it looks just like a light beer. Very clear, straw golden, thin head, about 1 finger of foam. You saw me pour it aggressively, let it set up. You guys who love to make fun of me, which is fine, I don't mind. This will hopefully be less burpy if I drink it. So it looks just like I'm guessing it may be probably contract brewed through someone, I don't know. So let's give it a smell. Just very faint grains. I can't tell if it's rice or corn. I'm sure it's got adjuncts in it. I doubt it. If it was all malt, they would tout that. But I don't think they necessarily have to disclose what adjuncts they use. For the taste. Yeah, it tastes kind of like corn. Like a Miller Lite is what it reminds me of, or Coors Light. It's very, it's just easy drinking. It is what it is. Beer flavored beer. It says on the can. I don't know if you can see that. The garage is always open. So that's kind of been a ongoing thing I've noticed online. Let me finish this little part of the review here. I had this in my little beer fridge upstairs. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing standout about it, but there's nothing like off. It's good. It tastes good. It's clean, refreshing. Anything that a light beer would be. Now the price, it's a little to be, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Little to be desired. For a 12 pack, it was like $15. I mean, maybe that's pretty close to average for some beers, but I know you can get the big three cheaper. And I know I can get my High Life way cheaper. That's kind of my, that's who I stand it up against. If I can get it cheaper than my High Life, then I know I'm getting a good deal, because, 12 pack for a 16-ounce cans for $8.99, that's going to be hard to beat, and I think that's only in my area that I've seen that. So our distributor, Grellner, has got something going on to be getting those so cheap. I think I talked to one of the guys, the distributor guys, the managers. He said that that's actually priced incorrectly, but apparently they're not losing money by doing it, and it sells like crazy, because I think people are starting to catch on, even if they're not big-time High Life fans. So it's been so long since I've had High Life Light. I don't know how this would compare, because they quit making High Life Lights that I know of. Yeah, it's good. Probably not worth the price, so that kind of dings it. Yeah, something that I see like on Instagram is there's a lot of memes and stuff about garage beer fridges. It's usually like, let's say you move, but you upgrade your fridge. Your fridge that you have doesn't go with the kitchen that the color scheme or something like that, or maybe it's kind of old and dinged up and stuff. A lot of people take them and put them either down in their basement or out in the garage, and that's usually where your beer, bottled water, maybe large things of meat that you're trying to brine or thaw out. You may have a freezer side too. You keep some ice and stuff out there. It's kind of like a utility fridge for other things, but you keep your beer in there because a lot of people drink beer out in the garage or out in the backyard or in the basement. But also just save space in your normal fridge for all your food, things like that. So it's just kind of a thing. I think it's big time in the Midwest. Talk about like up in Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's kind of a big deal up there. Big time drinkers apparently up there. With all those breweries up there. I've never been up that direction. I've been to Iowa, but not for any length of time. Been to Nebraska briefly. Went to Lincoln for a delivery one time to a Cheddar's restaurant that needed an emergency delivery. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going up to I want to go to Detroit sometime, just check out some of the factory area, the industrial areas and stuff like that. Although I hear that city can be dangerous. Same with Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. I think I'd like to go to Chicago. And not just the touristy spots. I just want to see the real spots, I think, I don't know, some stuff like that interests me. I've been to Ohio. I've been to New York when I was a teenager, 15. Parents took a trip up there with some friends. We drove the whole way, went through Ohio and Pennsylvania. It's crossed over at the Niagara Falls area. We made our way up to Toronto? Yeah, Toronto, I think. I want to say it's right across from Buffalo or somewhere in that area. So, no, it was kind of fun. Got to ride the subways and went over to Newark, New Jersey. It was kind of fun. I wouldn't mind doing something like that again, maybe. But I'd definitely like to go beer shopping up there. I think they got a lot of different things up there that we can't get around here. But this garage beer, this is kind of, I don't know, I saw it. I bought it at Walmart for that price. They didn't have a price tag. I couldn't pull it up on the website, so I had no idea what it was priced at until I got to the self-checkout. I went ahead and bought that and another pack of High Life, This is something, I think my wife had one of these last night. She's okay with stuff like this. Pretty low flavor, just kind of thirst quenching type thing. something just kind of easy to sip on. So yeah, I mean it's good. I don't have anything over the top for it. I didn't know until just a minute or two before I started the video that the Kelce brothers were involved. So that's kind of a neat endorsement, or they own a large majority, because it said that the Baxter beer, whatever it was, does it say on here? Produced for Jock beer. Jock, that's probably the Kelce brothers, because they're Jocks. What does it say? Oh, Braxton. Braxton Brewing Company. Yeah. So they own a minority stake in this. Braxton Brewing. They don't show any other beers, so this is the only 2 beers they got. I guess. Anyway. Yeah, it says. Oh, locations: Covington, Cincinnati, Braxton Barrel House, CVG, Braxton Union. So they have multiple locations. So the Irwindale, that must be the contract brewery that they have for this. So interesting. You learn something new every day. This side of the can is where these beer brands tell their story, but we thought you would rather just drink beer with your buddies. Garage beer is light, refreshing, and made with the highest quality ingredients. That's it. Keep it light. Cheers. Instagram, drink garage beer. So, open this end, crush to recycle. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess there's really not much more to say about this. I appreciate you guys watching this video. For, something new to try. Something definitely working class, although it's not really price is working class. But anyway, thanks for watching this, guys, and let me know in the comments if you've had this beer, if you know anything else that I've missed about this beer, connections or anything like that. And I will see you guys later.